Hi farm friends, this is Steph. We're at Farm to Table Kids Camp in North Yarmouth, Maine, and I'm here with the amazing Cameron Bonsi from Coast of Maine Organic Products.
I'm back here behind the camera. I know you can't say I am here.
But he's going to shout out information as we go, because today we want to show you how to turn over your beds and get them all tucked away for fall so that you can have a successful spring, and also how to save seeds, because if you remember back in the spring there was a severe seed shortage just globally. We want to show you how to collect seeds too. It's an awesome thing to do with kids. All of these projects are amazing to do with your family. I feel like all summer long kids are told to be so delicate in the garden and don't touch it and don't pick it yet. It's fall, the plants are pretty tired. Now's the time for kids to get in there, get your hands dirty and pull stuff apart, be observant and ask questions. So Mother Nature really does make it so simple. You just have to know what to look for. So let me show you how to find seeds on some of my favorite things to collect. Everything I'm going to show you is really, really fun to do with kids. They have the little hands for it and the little eyes for it, and honestly it's like having a kid jump into a real live hide and find picture, seek and find picture. They're so awesome. Fun. So this is calendula. Calendula is an awesome flower because it's an edible flower. You can put it on beautiful cupcakes or baked goods. And it has one of the most beautiful seeds that I like to capture. So as you can see, when the flower is open, it's a beautiful flower like this. As it starts to prepare to make seeds, it starts to close in on itself like that. This is fun because you get to see all the different germination. Oh, and then this one, see how it started to close and has all these buds on it? That's making seed, but it's not seed ready yet. This one is ready.
So how did you know that was ready, just because it's so dried up like that?
It's so dry, but mostly because the stem is dry. And if you saw how easy that just came out, that was ready to go. So the stem is dry, the plant is dry, and what you want to do is these little squirmy shaped things, those are the seeds. Those are your seeds for next year. It's just that easy. Mother Nature already cleared it out. She wrapped it up, dried it out, and packaged it up just for you. So you just take your hands. Again, kids are amazing at this, you guys. Take your little kids and show them how to collect seeds.
They'll be able to pull that
because
all apart.
You know what is awesome also about collecting seeds? You have them for your garden next year, but you guys, giving seeds are amazing. Yes. And having buy those little manila envelopes on Amazon, have your kids design some art on them. They can use stamps, they can use colored pencils and make beautiful pictures, and then package your own seed mixes and giving those to people. Can you think of a better thing to give someone? I mean, come on, that's amazing.
No,
you
and
can
I think
do
the kids must love that
They do. So let's look at some more flowers. We're gonna walk out to the big field and show you some more flowers to harvest seeds. Okay. Hey guys, it's Farmer Steph. I am in the sweet peas, and these are one of my favorite things to seed collect because you can see the different developmental stages of the plant right in front of your eyes, and it's so fun to do with kids because it really does show them where seeds come from. So right here is a sweet pea plant. Sweet peas are my favorite smell on the whole farm. They really do smell amazing. At this time of year, they are budding up for seed. So if you look at this flower blossom, it's actually forming a pea pod. And you can see how it's nice and plump. Have your kids touch it. See, touch, feel. It's all about farming.
Yeah, they learn so much better with that.
Absolutely. And so then this pod will grow into a pod like this. And as you can see, there are seeds already in there. Each one of those dimples is a seed, but it's not big yet. So look up at the light, you can see the whole biology inside with veins and seeds developing. And then it'll go into something like this. And in here, you can see the seeds. They're a little bigger. They're starting to brown, which is good. You don't want your seeds to be green. That means they're not ready yet. They're not cured. But then when you get to a pod like this, do you see how you can go from flower to seed? Look, this has a full seed bed in it. The seeds are nice and plump. The color is yellow. It's not green, so it's been cured. It's dried out a little bit. And when we open it up, this is so exciting. Again, do this with kids. It's so much fun. So this one has a bunch of beautiful seed pods in it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now those are going to be your seeds for next year. To be honest, I like when I open up the seed pod and they're brown. This could have cured in the sun a little bit longer, and I could tell that from looking at it. You can tell that the green, it's still green inside. You'll actually see brown of the seeds like you did on this one. Like you can see the seeds are brown here, but they're not big enough yet. So that's gonna stay on the vine and the seed pods will plump up. This one, if I let it stay on the vine, it would cure on the vine. It doesn't have to. I can still 100% keep these seeds and plant them and they'll be okay. They're just gonna cure in the jar instead of on the vine. So that is how you capture pea pods for sweet peas. But isn't that so cool how you can show kids how the blooms actually make a little pea pod for you and the seeds for next year? It's Mother Nature.
Yep.
She did all
the
work.
packaging for
you just go and get your seeds and again, plant them, gift them, but feel how powerful it is to have seeds, to know how to grow, and to give that gift to kids is one of the best things I think you can do for someone.
Behind the camera.
So this row was our edible flower row, and I'm just gonna go through here and kind of show you what I'm looking for when I'm hunting for seeds. So one of the things that's important to mention when you are harvesting seeds, the way to get seeds is to let that plant grow. So if you want a beautiful, if you want nice snapdragon seeds for next year, you want to let your best snapdragons go. That means you can't pick them, which is so hard. So your best flowers you won't be able to pick if you want a seed capture, which is fine.
That's an interesting point. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, you always want to let your best ones save for seed. Because if you think about the lineage, you want to choose from the best.
Makes sense.
So what I'm doing when I walk through this row is I'm looking for plants that look dried up. I'm looking for plants that have flower heads on them, but that have winterized. So they're just like dry and they look dead. But they're not dead because there's life in there, and we're going to show you how to find it. So this is a plant of bachelor button. Bachelor button is an edible flower. It's a great one to use in bouquets, but also I love using it on sugar cookies. As you can see with this bachelor button, it sent off these little buds. And these little buds, see how the stem is nice and brown? You want a nice brown stem because that means it has actually dried up to the little bulb head. I'm going to take this off, and when I open this gently with my thumb, all of those fluffy little strings in there, those are bachelor button seeds for next year. And look at these seeds. I love these seeds when they come in a packet because usually I start planting these in like March because they're one of my early season seeds. And I love how lively the seeds look because at that time in Maine, there's not a lot of things that look beautiful. But bachelor button seeds, do you see how they have that like purple texture to them?
Yeah. They're
always so pretty, and I'm always so happy to see them early spring because their seed is just like so pretty to look at. So that's what a bachelor button seed looks like, and all you have to do is go to your plant, look for these brown buds, and what's happening here is that if you're going to let this grow, the plant is going to do all the work for you. It's going to encapsulate itself, it's going to seal the bud, and then it's going to turn all of these into seeds for next year. The thing to remember when capturing seed is you do have to keep your eye out so that you don't miss the seeds. Like, eventually, a plant is seeding itself because it wants to live. It's trying to make sure it's ready to go next year. So it's sending its seeds back to the earth. Now, because its job is to reseed itself and send its seeds back to the earth, it's going to put the seeds out on the tip of the bud like that, and the wind or animals or whatever over time they're going to come and fall to the ground.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you get to the seeds before the wind and elements and animals do. So that means just look again for the brown ones, especially ones with brown stems, and then open up that bloom, that little bud, to get to your seeds. Again, it's a great project to do with kids and little hands because they're way better at it than adults are. And it's really cool to show them the power of seeds and how to collect to make your garden for the next year. So those are bachelor button seeds. Now, if you keep walking with me, I am noticing these zinnias. These zinnias were awesome this year, you guys. Like the heads were huge. They had this gorgeous salmon color. There was like carmine rose and this like gorgeous burgundy wine color. So I saw those and I was like, I want those to go to seed. I want these seed for next year. So you can kind of see the developmental phases happening here. The petals have fallen off. The core of the flower bud is still here. And now the petals have fallen off more. This one, you can see the seeds are starting to like dry out in the middle. And then you go to someone like this. Now this one is where you'll get your seeds. So if I take this head, and get rid of those bachelor buttons, and peel it open like this, these, you guys, those are zinnia seeds right there. Boom. Zinnia seeds, really, really easy to do with kids. Again, with your seeds, you don't just pick them and call it good. You have to let them dry about a week or two on a screen or a paper towel and then put them away for winter. You also don't want to store them in an airtight container. Like I would never put them in a Ziploc baggie. There's a bachelor button still in there. But these are all zinnia seeds.
So is that different than other seeds?
I just don't store seeds in Ziploc baggies because I want them to always have airflow, you know?
Yeah.
So I put them in paper bags, in little paper envelopes. And if I have a huge amount of seeds that I want to store, sometimes I'll even add those little dehydrator packets to them. And you can just get them on Amazon. But sometimes I do put them with seeds, like if there's a tomato heirloom variety that I love and I really want to keep it, I would use a little dehydrator packet with it too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then if we keep going, so we've got bachelor buttons there, we've got zinnias here. This is a great zinnia. Look how big that head is. Oh, I love that seed. I'm gonna come back for that one. I'm gonna let it dry out a little bit more, but that's a great one.
Could you have a little more enthusiasm?
This is so fun. Like Mother Nature's giving you this stuff.
Oh,
if you were to
awesome.
buy this at the store, this would cost you like probably $2.50, you know, like, so if you just keep, I know that's not a lot of money, but you can, the fact that Mother Nature's giving you this for free.
No, it's awesome.
And you can like gift it to other people.
It's what we should all be doing.
Yeah. So more bachelor buttons, they come in different colors and varieties. So again, if you do want to keep specific like colors and stuff, make sure you label everything that you harvest. So marigolds are so easy. I like to put marigolds along my borders wherever I can. They help deter deer and pests and things like that. Marigold buds, these ones might not be passed enough. Let me just see if this one might be. Let's try this one. So again, you want to find ones that look dead, right? This looks dried out and toasted. And these are all your marigold seeds. Look how many seeds you get in just one bloom. I mean, that's amazing. That's so many seeds. And again, you guys, this is amazing to do with kids. Look at that. How cute would it be to have your kiddo like draw a beautiful diagram, a little illustration on a little seed packet, and then gift these to people? It's like the sweetest thing. But look at all of these seeds that you get for free from one marigold bud. So cool. So,
yeah, and I think that the people or the kids that don't do this expect a seed to look like what we would draw as a seed.
Right, like a little teardrop.
Yeah.
Right, like a little teardrop. Yeah. And as you can see, I don't think any of the seeds we looked at today actually have that shape.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, again, it just goes into what to look for. So Cameron and I have been working to try to put this together so that kids and families can go into your gardens this time of year and know what to look for, know how to harvest it, and then have things for next season. Get you up and running. So, before we go any further, you need to label your seed jars.
I was watching that when you were writing that before.
Yeah, so I have these little jars with lids, and I just take one of my, I have a bajillion of these, so I just take one and I write down what it is that we are harvesting. So right now, we're gonna do cosmos, and I'm gonna set that in my jar so I know what seeds these are. You always think you remember, and you don't, so.
Oh, you never do. Yeah.
Label, label, label. Okay, these cosmos will flower, and the flower will then close up and it turn into a bud like this. And this bud sends off, these are like tough in texture little nettles, and those nettles will close up and dry, and these are your flower seeds. So you always want to collect seeds when it's not too damp outside so that you get nice dry seeds, because you don't want them to rot in the packaging.
Well, it's funny because I think that people that have never done this, I look at that, you know, and you think, well, that's just useless. That's just old.
Right.
Yeah.
But in fact, these are the cosmos seeds. So these seeds right here are what you will plant in the spring or gift to a friend. But all of those are cosmos seeds. Look how many you get out of just one head. So you take those. What you want to do is lay your seeds out on a screen or a paper towel, but you want to make sure there's plenty of airflow, because they will, if there's any moisture in them or excessive moisture in them, they'll rot. So what you want to do is take your seeds, lay them out for, I do at least a week. And I do it in my kitchen or in my basement where it's very dry. For example, I don't dry them out in the greenhouse because there's so much moisture still in there. I take them home to do that. So I put them in my jar with my label, and I just keep going. So let me show you another one. This, and the other thing about these cosmos seeds, guys, is when they're ready to harvest, you have to keep your eye out and know when it's ready to come out and get seeds, because, like, look at this one. This one, you just pluck the center out and look at all of those seeds. That's off of one flower head. So at Farm to Table Kids, we're famous for our sunflowers. We have sunflower forest, and we plant sunflowers along the perimeter of all of our beds. And it really helps with the bird life and the pollination life here. But it also helps with kids. Kids love playing in the sunflowers, and there are so many things you can do with sunflowers. As you can see, I'm a textural person. I'm just like petting a sunflower right now.
Touching it over and over again. Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to show you is how to collect seeds. Now, sunflowers are especially amazing because you can collect their seeds to plant, but you can also collect their seeds to eat, right? So kids love eating sunflower seeds. More importantly, I go into the school system in the fall and I teach kids, normally when I can go in school systems, I would teach kids how to make sun butter and farm fresh celery.
Oh,
so that's
awesome.
an awesome snack that I bring with me. I bring a Cuisinart, I bring some sunflower heads like this and a jar of honey, and I teach them how to make sun butter in school. So it's something that you can do at home too. As you can see, I'm just taking my hand and rubbing. I call these pollen pillows when I'm talking to the kids. I say, these are little pollen pillows. And a lot of time people think that this, even adults, they'll think these are the seeds. They're not the seeds. We call those little pollen pillows for the bees. The seeds are all underneath. So right now, I'm just taking my thumb, and again, this is an awesome exercise for kids. They love tearing things up and ripping things apart, and they love texture work. And so this is an awesome texture work. So go ahead and have your little kiddo remove all of the little pollen pockets, and now's a good time to talk about like pollinators and why they're important. So when you have all of those removed, the seeds are underneath. So you take the head, bust it open, more pollen pockets in the middle, and then these are all of your seeds. What you're gonna do, and you know, at my son's Montessori school, they work a lot with your pincher muscles to be able to get ready for to hold your pencil correctly. And they have tweezers, and they have the kids, as a Montessori work, actually take the tweezers out of the use tweezers to take the seeds out of the sunflowers to help with your pincher grip. Awesome. So there are all kinds of amazing things you can do with nature, especially here in the fall season. So go ahead and you're gonna wanna get all these sunflower seeds out. You can put them in a manila envelope. Well, you can dry them for a week and then put them away for storage so you can plant next spring. Or you could take them on a cookie sheet and put them in your oven low at like 300 and toast them. And then you can eat them just as so, or you can take your toasted sunflower seeds and then put them in your Cuisinart and add a little bit of honey and maybe a little salt, depending on what you want, and you can make homemade sun butter. And that is a snack we make at farm camp, and the kids go crazy. Like, because we can take a flour and turn it into basically peanut butter. And they're like, I don't get it. How did that just happen? And it's one of those magical things where it's like, yes, that did happen, and you can do it too. All you need to know is what to look for. So go outside, kiddos, find a sunflower, get the head, take the little pollen pockets off, find your seeds, and then take those seeds out, dry them, and either store them and plant them next spring. You can give the seeds to a friend as a gift, or you can put them in your oven and eat them. in either seed form or sun butter form. Mother Nature's amazing!
That's awesome.
Hey farm friends, it's Farmer Steph. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you great ideas to go outside and enjoy these awesome days we have left of fall and find seeds so you can start planting next year and also saving your seeds to give to friends in the spring. Also, friendly reminder, there are only 2 chances you really get in the whole year to amend your soil in between planting. It's fall and spring. So we're in that season now. Now's a great time to add any compost or mulch to your beds to make sure that you can start the season fresh next year. Now before I say goodbye, there's one more really important thing I forgot to talk to you about when it comes to saving seeds. We're in a special season right now, so I just wanted to remind you to save your pumpkins, to save seeds, you guys. Actually, the perfect time to save seeds from a pumpkin is when they start to get soft and a little past ripe. So once your jack-o'-lanterns and everything, before you toss them, make sure you save their seeds, okay? So I am at the greenhouse outdoor kitchen, my favorite space. I'm just gonna show you how I save our seeds for planting next year. What you're gonna do is just take out your seeds, and your job is to remove the seeds from that yucky slimy membrane as best as possible so that you can truly dry them and not let them rot from moisture. So I'm going to put the seeds in a colander, and now I'm going to rinse them. I'm just going to rinse them to get that membrane off the seeds as best as possible. And then I'm going to take my seeds, and here at the greenhouse, I'm using a cardboard box lined with paper towels. You can use a cookie sheet and line that with paper towels. But again, your goal is to get as much moisture off the seeds as possible. So then just put them on a paper towel and then let them dry for about 2 weeks. What you want to do at least once a day, but most likely twice a day, is just go through with your hands and make sure the seeds aren't sticking to the bottom of the box, okay? And then you'll be able to go through and see some seeds that are small and look wrinkled. Like this seed is very small. It doesn't have any body texture to it. It's just very thin and wrinkly, like this one. I'm gonna take those ones out. So you want, with any kind of seed collecting you're doing, you wanna collect seeds from your most beautiful flowers, your most beautiful vegetables. Like for example, with our garlic, the garlic that we will eat this year is about this big, whereas the garlic bulbs that we'll plant, this is a tulip bulb, but I'm using it for reference because I don't have garlic seed here with me. But the garlic that we've been eating this year is about this big, whereas the heads that we use for planting are this big. So I always save my biggest, most beautiful heads for seed, not actually for eating. So remember that. Remember to visit farmtotablekids.com for more planting and growing information with kids. And thank you so much for following. Happy harvest season. Look at this though. This pumpkin, I will eventually carve it for its seeds, but right now I'm just gonna let it live happily as a rainbow unicorn. But as soon as this little guy starts to get a little wrinkly and soft, I'm saving these seeds. They're beautiful. They're called Casper pumpkins. So if you want to save your seeds, again, save from the things that you love the most, and you'll have seeds for next year. Happy harvesting. I'll show you what a dahlia tuber looks like. Look! Oh, these tubers! How fun! Look at that! The dahlia made how many tubers on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Obviously, we have to look and see if they're all healthy, like this one's cracked, but